Good evening, CLC. I'm Naomi Fada. Thank you so much for joining me here this evening. Um, as I was praying about what to share with you this week, I was reminded of our concentration on prayer last week, and a scripture came to me because I was thinking about just some of the things that God has, impressed on me a lot over the last decade or so. And the scripture is from Psalm 46, verse 10. And actually, this is from the King James Version. It says, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen, and I will be exalted in the earth." And, this concept of be still, or I think of it as to be silent, or sit with him in silence. And what does that look like? And so it doesn't always mean to me that you have to be physically completely still, but to still our thoughts, to let him still our thoughts, because they rush around 1,000 miles an hour, so to speak, and we're always thinking. Thoughts are always flowing through our minds, and then you add on top of that these delightful little pocket devices that we all have, that are mini computers, in which we can Google everything. We can correspond with friends, check our email, have instant messaging, and so much more. And how often are we still? Is our mind still before the Lord? And developing that habit of, whether it's just setting aside the technology, or also just coming into a place of silence, where we're allowing our soul to connect in the presence of God. And I was reading, so I have in one of my bathrooms one of the Jesus Calling devotionals, and this was actually one of the things that spurred me on to think, I feel led to share about this today. So this was from a couple of days ago, but it was October 13th, the reading, and it says, "Take time to be still in my presence. The more hassled you feel, the more you need the sacred space of communion with me. Breathe slowly and deeply. Relax in my holy presence while my face shines upon you. This is how you receive my peace, which I always offer to you." And, I think of in terms of when you sit to have a conversation with someone, maybe a loved one, maybe your children, whoever it might be, and you sit and you want to talk to them. And if they have a phone in front of their face, or screen in front of their face, or they're very distracted, do you feel like they're paying attention to you? Or are you kind of a little put off by the fact that they don't want to talk to you? And so, in a similar way, when we're coming before the Lord, or we're just spending time with him, allowing him to let us be still, to be in his presence. And everybody, God does, I want to say, relate to us differently, but he does speak to us in different ways. And but yeah, one of the things that I will find is, if I am feeling very anxious, or like I have a lot going on internally or in my head, sometimes God will just remind me, you need to be still. Now, granted, I might be driving the car, but sometimes that means turning off the music and letting silence pervade, so that we feel his presence and we sense his presence, and he can begin to filter out all of those extra noises, so that we can commune with him, or have fellowship with him, in the sense like you would talk to someone else who is in the room with you, remembering that he does want us to have that deep relationship with him. And there's other times when maybe I'm out for a run, or sitting at the sewing machine, and I like to listen to podcasts and all sorts of different things, and I feel him saying, you need to just turn it all off and be silent for a little while, because in that stillness or silence, because in many of those cases, my body is not still, but to quiet our hearts and bring them before the Lord and let Him do that deep work in us, that element of stilling our inner person and our thoughts is so important. And so just encourage you, throughout the week to pause, to give Him time to be still. When you feel Him nudging you to just shut down the external noise, just do that and enjoy some quiet time with Him where He can really infiltrate your soul with His presence, with His goodness. And so, God bless you, and look forward to seeing you in church on Sunday. If you'd like to find out more about Community Life Church, you can find us online at clchurch.cc, also on Facebook and Instagram. Join us on a Sunday, 10:30. We would love to see you there.